Big city concerns about the homeless crisis now spreading to small towns. Days after a heated meeting on this very issue in Aloha ended early, the county had another session, this time over an incoming safe rest pod site in rural Cornelius. We sent our Joelle Jones to listen in on that. Joelle's here with us now. What are you hearing, Joelle?
Well, Liz, as you pointed out, this comes just 2 days after the county shut down that similar meeting due to pushback and other concerns. And while this gathering was online and much more controlled, the sentiments were really the same. The county is asking neighbors for their participation as they work to give people a safe place to stay. And neighbors argue this engagement comes much too late and after the county has already signed on the dotted line.
Another Washington County community meeting on safe rest pod villages creates more pushback among neighbors.
We're being invaded by the pod people.
Making light of a serious situation ahead of today's forum, we caught up with Mariah Park resident Michael Mitchum. He lives just around the corner from the new Cornelius Safe Rest pod site off 4th Avenue, which is expected to house 40 homeless residents by August.
Several of the residents that reside here are also very concerned, myself included, that once the pod village is established, whatever value we had in our manufactured homes here will be halved, if not worse.
While county reps and the provider Open Door say all residents must adhere to a code of conduct, including no illegal activity, drugs, or weapons. Without background checks, Mitchum and others at the meeting say they're concerned about how close the site is to the only school bus stop for neighborhood children, as well as possible community guideline violations as it pertains to equity.
According to latest U.S. Census data, Cornelius is nearly 51% Hispanic. This community is majorly low income and Latino, and it is not equitable to place a shelter here for that reason.
You're not screening them for addiction, okay? You're gonna let them out for the day and they come back intoxicated. You know, who knows what status they'll be when they walk in the site.
Still, Mitchum says neighbors are not necessarily opposed to affordable housing, but says they are frustrated with the lack of transparency and communication from the county, telling us with little word beforehand, the day they attended a city council meeting, the county had already broken ground on the site.
Homeless people need a chance. A lot of them are there not because of this is the lifestyle they chose, it's circumstance put them there. Now, of those, I wish them the best. May they get the help they need to move back into mainstream, living.
This comes just 2 days after the county was forced to shut down a similar meeting on the Aloha Safe Rest pod site after neighbors clashed with reps.
But we are eager to engage you now as we prepare.
And just a day after Washington County commissioners discussed rules for a new ordinance, which would allow a 5-day grace period on homeless camping. If adopted, camping would only be allowed when shelter is not available, limiting sites to less than 144 square feet, with no camps permitted within 500 feet of existing shelters, schools, or daycares. Sites would also be limited to only essential items, with no more than 100 gallons of waste or fires allowed.
Want to hear your concerns, but listen to me.
In response to the continued pushback from community members, Washington County Rep stated in part, quote, "We recognize that there are concerns from nearby neighbors and are committed to working with them to develop a neighborhood plan before any shelter program participants move into this temporary pod shelter location. This neighborhood plan would ensure safety both for our program participants and neighbors."
So while the meeting went about 20 minutes over, many questions were still left unanswered. But the county says they plan to respond to those concerns on their website. We're told the next opportunity for people to engage will be in person on July 11th. And while we're still waiting on more details for that, we will continue to follow this. Liz?
Yeah, just so much to this. And I know you've done a great job covering this for the last few days. Joelle, thank you.